How's it going, guys? It's your boy, Milkman. I don't know if you can hear the music, but I can. Gotta get it going somehow. Gotta keep it rolling. We've been growing and everything like that, and I thank you guys so much for that. Thank you guys so much for the support and everything like that. So we'll get into it. I'm gonna talk about your past today. Here's my thing, okay? We're talking about the past, because I don't know. People struggle with the past. People kind of try and hide their past, some, at least in my opinion. But I think people try and kind of hide their past in some way, shape, or form, and it's to me personally, I just don't think it's healthy. I think you as a community, everybody, whoever watches this, if you're not in the community, like and sub if you guys want to see more of this stuff. Normally I do these videos every Thursday. It's when I release them. Hopefully I'll get this one out. I think this one's important. I try and spread positivity and everything like that on this channel, and I think the past is something that people like to harp on heavily. I know I did for a long time, or not really a long time. I'm a pretty easygoing person, and when it comes to life stuff, I really don't stress too terribly much. I think it's a whole lot harder to live life stressed out than just chilling. I think it's really hard to live life in a way where you kind of stress about stuff all the time. So I just normally don't stress, which I know is a lot easier said than done. I know it's way easier said than done. I know plenty of people can't really do that, and people struggle to kind of have just no stress. Some people just have anxiety and stuff like that, and I understand. I just know personally, at least in my experience, living on the past is something that would bring me anxiety, and trying to figure out what I did wrong, or trying to even sometimes when you're in an argument and you finish the argument and you're damn it, I should have said that kind of stuff too. That kind of thing is what I'm talking about. But bigger deal, I was with we don't need to do too much about this, but I was with my ex for 3 years, and then she ended up dipping, and completely her choice, by the way. And I kind of was stuck on that for a long time, and it was something, or not even a long time, a couple months, which I think is fair with all this, how long we were together and stuff. But I was stuck on that for a long time, which kind of is what got me started with doing YouTube and stuff like that, and helped me bring together this tiny little community we got so far, which is awesome. But yeah, it was kind of what I was stuck on, and I always sat there day in, day out with all this stuff going on. I was pretty heavy in just oh, what could I have done? Oh, what could I have done? Oh, what could I have done? When in reality, I don't think that's the way to look at stuff like that. When it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm a pretty positive person in general. I'm a pretty positive person in general. I may not seem like it on stream, but I'm a pretty positive person in general. Anything in life in general, that's not the way to look at it, what you could have changed, because obviously, guess what? It's not going to happen. You're not going to change it. It's going to be what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. That's just how life is sometimes. So for me, it turned into a understanding that what you had was good, and no one's saying it wasn't good, and no one's saying it was awful or anything like that. You had good memories and stuff like that with whatever it is: sports, life, family, relationships, whatever your job is, maybe, or something. I don't know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was good while it lasted, and it was good while you had it, but end of the day, that's just not what it's going to be anymore, and that's fine. That's okay. You don't have to be upset about that, worried about that, or anything like that, because end of the day, it should be something you learn from. In my opinion, I think it was me being in that relationship set me up pretty well for my next relationship, and understanding that what I need to be doing, what I need to kind of curtail when it comes to relationships, how I act, stuff like that. I think it's a better way to look at it that way than hey, let's sit on the past and let it meander around and kind of walk side by side with you as you're trying to figure out other stuff. Because the worst thing you could do is just stay with it and allow it to change the way you live, because that's just awful. I mean, it's just not fun to let stuff hinder your happiness, basically. It's not fun to just let something from your past, whether it's a failure or a success, allow that to change what you want to do in the future. Obviously, you can learn from both, you learn from both, but you have to understand that there really is not much you can do about your past, and obviously your past is who you are. I'm not going to say your past doesn't matter, because that's not true. At least in my opinion, I don't think that's true. I think your past is pretty heavily a good way of predicting what you're going to do and how you're going to handle certain situations and stuff. But what you need to do then is if it's a bad thing or you think that you're doing something bad, then just change it. Like, and I know that's again easier said than done, but end of the day, if you want to be a better person, you want to be a happier person, you got to do more things that are happy. You got to not be as negative, say less negative things, watch less negative stuff. A lot of that stuff kind of with like, I don't know, social media and stuff like that, it's not necessarily the most positive platform to be doing stuff on. I know on YouTube, if it were to ever grow like an astronomical amount, I'm guessing it'd be a lot of negativity. But at the end of the day, like there's nothing you can do. Like, those people are gonna be negative. Those people are gonna tell you to F off and go do harmful things to yourself or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they won't. I would hope not. I think that's awful. But like, you just gotta understand that people are gonna do what they want to do because they want to put you down or they want to build you up, and you gotta surround yourself with those kind of people that in your past, when you were down, allowed you to or helped you get up. Whether that was through support, whether that was listening to you, whether that was just sticking by you and chilling with you, whether that was hanging out with you and even not talking about stuff. Because I know that was what helped me a lot, was hanging out with my friends and just talking about it. Because I know a lot of times, like, I mean, I don't know, a lot of stuff nowadays, like, guys just don't talk too terribly much about their feelings, which is also fine. I think that's fine. I don't think dudes necessarily need to talk about their feelings all the time. I think there's a time and place for guys to talk about their feelings. There's certain people you talk about it with. You don't need to. It doesn't need to be a whole thing to the world. And people kind of just bitch about whatever they want to bitch about because they like are like not okay. This is gonna go bad, but I think people are just soft now. Like, a lot of the time, someone tells them something one bad thing or something, and people take that as like a life crisis. And I think that's just not a good way to live. I'm a very much, me and my older brother have said this plenty of times to my little brother, who kind of is that way. Not even soft. He just like takes a lot of stuff to heart, or like thinks a lot, like, heavy about stuff. When someone says something like an asshole to me, I just don't care. Like, it really just does not. I think it takes a lot more effort to care about what those people said, because again, it's just in the past. Like, I'm not gonna harp on that dude. Like, that dude said it. There's nothing I can do. That girl said it. There's nothing I can do about that. Like, there's nothing's gonna change that at all. So a lot of the way I live my life is built around that idea of just, yeah, I'm not gonna care. It's just gonna be what it is, and I'm gonna live my life, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. That inevitably helps as many people as I possibly can, which I'm hoping this YouTube channel does. I don't know if these videos do very much for anybody, but I'm hoping they help somebody out some way, shape, or form. Maybe they're entertaining. You can watch me just talk. It's not the most entertaining thing. I don't know, dude. But that's kind of my thing, is just living in the past sucks. It's not fun. Because it's really hard to remember a lot of the good things. Usually the only time I remember good things is when someone brings them up. I don't usually think of, when I'm on my own, just chilling, driving, whatever it is, of the good things that happened in my past, really. I'm never like, oh, you remember that one time we went swimming, or that one time we did this, or one time we did that. Usually it's me contemplating what I could have done different in an argument, in a relationship, in a situation, or whatever. And it's not usually positive, and I think that's something that living on the past is harmful for. And I'm not saying forget about your past. That's not a good way to do it. You got to learn from your past. You got to learn from the mistakes you made. That's the whole point of making mistakes. If you never looked at your past, you would just keep doing the same things over and over, and you would never get better at anything. So I think a lot of it is just understanding, yeah, the past is what it is. I'm not going to allow it to hurt me or like bring me down. I'm just going to use it as something that's going to be productive and helpful and allow me to help others. I think that's also a big part of learning from your past, is now, since I've been through that kind of, this is going to sound sad, but heartbreak, then I can now help when one of my buddies has the same thing, dates somebody for a long time, and kind of has the same thing happen to him. Like, now I've been through that situation, and I can relate to him somewhat. When I was younger, I had cancer. When I was 5 years old, I can kind of relate to people who have cancer now, and like little kids who are scared or don't understand why they have so much pain and stuff like that. I can relate to them and be like, hey, like, I understand it sucks right now, but end of the day, like, it's gonna be fine. Like, you're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna go all right. Like, that's the kind of way I always try and think of stuff, is end of the day, when I'm getting mad at a game, end of the day, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go sleep in my bed under a blanket with a roof over my head, because I was lucky enough to be blessed with that kind of stuff. Like, it's just the way you gotta live, is that, like, at the end of the day, stuff is ass sometimes, but it usually gets better if you're trying to make it better. And maybe it doesn't for a long time. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't for a long time. I know for a lot of people it doesn't for a long time. But they still try and look at stuff positively, because looking at stuff negatively literally gets nothing done. If you look at something negatively, it's just, you'll always keep protruding this idea of like, oh, it's gonna go bad. Oh, it's gonna go bad. If you don't want it to go bad and you just keep thinking it's gonna go bad, it's just gonna go bad. If you don't want it to go bad and you think it's gonna get better, it might get better. You don't know. Like, there's no way of telling which way it's gonna go. But if you always have a negative outlook on, I don't know, whatever your relationship is, you had a bad relationship, you had a bad experience in a video game, you had a bad experience at, I don't know, a park. I have no idea. If you always have that singular interaction as your one way, and that's why you never do anything, then you'll never be productive. If I just stopped playing games every time I lost, I would just be ass. I mean, I'm still trash. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm good, but like, I'm definitely better at COD than I was, I don't know, probably a month ago. Like, I'm definitely better at COD, especially after last night on the stream and stuff. It says this is Tuesday, the 23rd. So on the 22nd, like Monday night, we were doing really well in Warzone, and it was weird to see like me doing really well. Me and Isaiah were just playing really well. So, but a month ago, I would have never done that. But I never stopped. Like, there's no reason to stop. If you just stop, you're never gonna get anywhere. So I always just think of like the past is what's gonna push you forward, as well as your current mindset. Like, you have to have the right mindset that you want to perform, or you want to produce, or you want to get better, or you want to be that person at the end of the day. I know for me, I work as a host at a bar right now, and although this might sound stupid to some people, my whole goal is to be the best host in Arizona. Which, yeah, might be dumb as shit. Like, grand scheme of things, does not necessarily matter. Like, oh, you're a really good host. Like, yeah, obviously it doesn't, in the wide scheme of the world, being a really good host probably doesn't matter too terribly much. But guess what? I want to be the best host because I don't want to be just doing shit. Like, if I'm gonna do something, you gotta do it 100%, because doing it half-assed does nothing. If I wanted to do YouTube half-ass, I just would stream every 2 weeks and maybe make a video, never have a real outlook on what I was gonna do. But no, like, I haven't been editing a lot lately, but 2 weeks ago or a month ago, I was editing every day and streaming every other day. I was editing every other day and streaming every other day. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, I was streaming, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays, I was editing. Like, I was doing everything all the time and just going 100%, because there's no reason to not do that. And again, I'm saying this right now, no reason for me to not be going 100% on making these videos for you guys, because I don't know, maybe it helps somebody. Like, that's all that matters to me, is that these videos help people, because at the end of the day, if they don't, that's fine, I made the video still. But if they do, like, that's great. That's all that I care about, is making videos that make people smile, make people laugh, whatever it is. Like, I don't necessarily care how many people I affect, as long as it's a good effect. As long as it's 6 people that are happy because they watch my video, that's what I care about. As long as it's 400,000 that watch my video and it makes them happy, that's great, that's awesome. Like, no matter what, the whole goal of these videos is to make it somewhat relatable and try and help those out that I would never meet in person. There's a couple people that have been coming in my streams like regularly that I never would have met, and I don't know if I will, but it would be awesome to. But I don't know if I'll ever meet them in person, but I can still somewhat affect their outlook on life by being positive, and like being able to come to the streams and understand that I'm gonna be a positive person and they don't have to worry about me saying angry comments, making fun of people, doing anything like that, unless someone's toxic to me. If someone's toxic to me, then I'm gonna be toxic. That's just the inner competition in me. If someone's gonna talk shit, I'm gonna talk shit. If you know me in real life, you know that's a fact. Like, end of the day, like, that's how it always is. You could ask any of my friends that I play games with regularly or anything like that, they would all say the same thing. If it's a game and there's a winner and a loser, I'm gonna win or lose talking shit, most likely. As long as if no one else talks shit, though, I won't talk shit. If somebody says something, though, and starts to get smart, I'm gonna talk smack, and I'm gonna win or lose talking smack, because I'm really good at it. But anyways, back to this idea of the past. Just, I want you guys to understand that, if anything from this video, just understand that, like, your past is fine. You may have done effed up stuff, I don't know, wild stuff. I have no idea what you've done. Okay, that might be a bit of a stretch. If you've done some horrible stuff, sometimes I don't think there's necessarily people who should be forgiven just because of the stuff they've done, but that's also another topic. But end of the day, no matter where you come from, like what past you have, from the things you've done, the relationships you've had, the experiences you've experienced, you guys should always be trying to, like I say at literally the end of every video and stream, spread the love, spread the joy, I'll see you guys next time. The spread the love and spread the joy thing is something that like I actually believe. Like I feel like that's something that should actually be like put into work every day. You know, like and maybe I don't do it every day. I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna say I do it every day. That's definitely not true. But like at the end of these videos and stuff like that, I want that to be the goal. I want you guys to be able to take this and go tell a friend or go tell a family member, hey, there's this guy I watch and he makes positive YouTube videos that you might like. I don't know. Like I just want you guys to be able to watch these videos and be happy watching them, or come into my streams and enjoy sitting around and watching me be absolute trash at games. Like that's pretty entertaining as well. So end of the day, guys, just make sure you guys don't dwell on the past. You just learn from it, because at the end of the day, the past is what made you, and it's what's gonna create the future you, because that's all that you have to build off. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. My timer went off a minute ago, or like a minute ago, so I'll stop now because the video is gonna get too long. But spread the love, spread the joy, and I shall see you guys in the next stream / video. Peace.